Hello, beautiful beings. Yesterday morning, I was putting my opal necklace on yet again. I've wore it almost every single day since I received it last summer. This very last summer. It's from my dad. Even though he dropped his physical form over 6 years ago now, he was able to get this necklace to me through my middle sister Deb, whom I haven't spoke to for years. We just do not vibe. So she showed up at a farmer's market that I was at when I was visiting my oldest daughter. And at first, when I saw her and she was walking over, I just turned away and I started looking at all these beautiful silk tapestries that my daughter tie-dyes. That's one thing that she sells at the farmer's market. And so I asked the ancients, make it plainly obvious if I am supposed to hug her, because I no longer hug people out of any sense of obligation. So it was just a few minutes, maybe like 3 or 4 minutes, and I felt myself turning around and walking towards her with my arms open. And she clung to me. It was pretty intense. I was sick for 2 days, physically sick for 2 days after that energetic exchange with her, because I don't know if you've noticed, but when higher frequencies interact with lower frequencies, it can definitely make a person sick. That's not a put down for my sister. It just means that she is definitely operating at a much lower frequency because she has not done her work. She has resisted doing any of her introspective work, like forgiveness. She has resentments. She has unforgiveness in her heart. She's unconscious, very, very unconscious. So when we hugged, I took that opportunity to be intensely present, and I took her to presence, into her natural state. So I do feel that she was probably very ill after that also. I'm not laughing because I wish her ill. I just think it's beautiful how energies work. So in our brief interaction, she mentioned this necklace that Dad had bought her years ago. And she said, recently, in the middle of the night, it's been lighting up. Why is that? And I said, and I thought it was just so interesting too, that she had 100% faith in the answer that I was going to give her. I don't know if she realized that or not. She asked me several questions actually, and it all kept going back around to, for her, overthinking. And so she said, why is that? And I said, well, it's just him saying hello. And she didn't say this, but says she has not done her introspective work on forgiveness. She didn't like that at all. Not at all. And so she said, you were closest with Dad out of us three girls, weren't you? And I said, yes, I was. And so she drove home and went and got this necklace, and she gave it to me. And I knew that that was my dad giving it to me. And I just the feeling of it. It is just so full of light. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it really, really holds the light, and it feels alive to me. And it's not that it's my favorite piece of jewelry. It's not like that. I looked up the spiritual meaning of opals when I received it, and also yesterday morning, and it's just so amazing to me how something like this can come into my life and help infuse my life with the strength that I need in the ways that I need it to get through certain parts of this ascension. Same thing with animals or bugs. If there's like a strange amount of flies around, I look those up and see what the spiritual meaning of flies are. And it's just right on. It goes right along with how I've been feeling. Blue jays. One time I was on my way to the river house here, and there was a black bear running down the road in front of my car. That was the day I went to this man's house down the road because he seemed really nice, and he stopped by here. I won't get into it. If you want to hear the story, it's my video that says don't go in the house. Yeah, I almost got myself into some major scary trouble by going in this person's house. It wasn't even his house, come to find out. But that black bear, never had that happen in my whole life, but that was the day that black bear was literally like 12 feet. He was so close to my car that when he turned around, I could see the wet on his nose. And that bear was infusing me with protection. And the other thing that saved me that day, from being very hurt, was these two spirits that showed up in the house, Bud and Ruth, the original owners of the house. They showed up as spirit, and it absolutely scared the bejeezers out of this man that had really bad intentions towards me. So it may seem trivial if you see a moth or whatever, but it, as the ancients are saying, it helps us remember the magic in life, and that we're not alone, that we have clues and help all along our path every single day. It just takes practice to look for those signs, and to look it up, Google it, what it means. And it absolutely resonates every single time for me, no matter what it is. Two, I lived in one of the cabins at the RV park that I live at. I lived in both of the cabins that are there, one for each winter, and each winter I had ladybugs in both cabins, and I looked those up, obviously, and I mean, they're good luck. They mean good luck. This summer I was telling a woman about that, and she goes, "Well, there's these other ones that look like ladybugs, but they're not ladybugs." And I said, "Hey, woman, don't rain on my parade." They were ladybugs to me. She's just like, "Okay." She started laughing. I don't really even know this woman, but yeah, that's where the logic takes over. And yes, there are these bugs that do look very similar to Japanese ladybugs or something like that, but they're still ladybugs, and they're still very good luck and beautiful divine protection. They're basically things that say that they're good luck for me are a reminder that I'm not alone, that my guides are with me more than the ancients. The ancients are always with me, but even before that, the first guide that I ever was able to make contact with, he's a Native American, and his name is Sam. I had a dream about him one night, and I was looking up in these rafters, and I looked up and I was just like, "Sam!" I was so excited to see him. I felt like I hadn't seen him for so long, and just the love coming from him. It was just so exciting. And I was raising my 3 little girls by myself, and it just felt absolutely amazing. And he reached down through these rafters, and I reached up and I was almost touching his hand, and then I was just like, "Oh, wait, no, I can't go with you. I have my little girls." And I had told my oldest daughter, well, I told all my girls about that dream, but my oldest daughter was, I think, 9 at that point, 9 or 10. And she started crying right away when I told her that dream. And I was just like, "What? What is it?" And she said, "If you would have taken his hand, I think that you would have died in your sleep." Oh my gosh, yeah. In my dream, I knew that I couldn't hold on to his hand because I needed to stay here. And just the fact that she was so tuned in, well, children are, they're incredibly tuned in. And I feel like it's part of our job as parents to help keep them tuned in and believing in the magic of life to the best of our ability. Of course, when I was raising my 3 girls, I was incredibly unconscious still, and I had a very busy mind. So, ancients, is there anything else we want to talk about? It's so amazing when I'm going through a really thick part of the ascension. I can look in the mirror and I just don't feel like I look like myself. And just recently, just the last few days, I feel like I'm looking like myself again. And they're reminding me that part of it is, that's right, back to the opal. Part of it is because there's been way too much moisture in my tiny home. And so since I got my brand new, much larger dehumidifier, I wake up to dry windows. I'm not coughing anymore. My nose isn't stuffed up. My eyes aren't puffy underneath anymore. It's quite miraculous. So yesterday morning when I looked up the spiritual meaning of opal again, of course it was absolutely perfect. What this was infusing my life with, and also energetically. And so then I Googled right after that because I want to name my dehumidifier because it's just doing such an amazing job. I named my smaller dehumidifier Aurora because it has these really beautiful lights on it that change colors. And so I Googled, what is a precious gem that absorbs water? And when I asked that, I thought, I didn't even know that gems could actually absorb water. And opal came up. So my new dehumidifier's name is Opal. They're complimenting me right now on speaking much slower. I noticed that too. It has taken a lot of practice over the years to speak more slowly because there's a lot of energy coming through, and so it has taken my body and myself a long time to assimilate that energy. But anything ever takes is practice and a willingness to do it. So it's raining. Oh, it's so beautiful. I'm going to show you. Someday I'm going to live in a cabin by the river. Cabin in the woods by the river. I'll have a fireplace, I'll chop wood. Oh, I love wood stoves. I love anything that burns wood. Just the warmth of it is so different than any other type of heat. Hi, bud. That's where Doozer is when I'm cleaning the river house. I don't take him to the lake house. It's just too big. It just takes me too long, and I can't. It's more of a frustration to bring him with me than here. He's such a good boy. I think that's it for now. There's a book. Googling it. What's the spiritual name of whatever animal? But there's a specific book. It's called a animal medicine book, and it comes with a set of tarot cards. I don't have those cards anymore, but my oldest daughter, she has the book and the cards. And Andrea, hi Andrea, she just popped in. Well, she was one of my dearest friends. She dropped her physical form, I think, about 3 years ago now, and she's the one that originally gave me that book and the tarot cards. So that is one place that I go to look up things. And oh yes, I dreamt about rattlesnakes a week or so ago, and so I went to that animal medicine book, and it didn't specifically have rattlesnakes in it, but I went to snake, and when I went to the page, the picture on the page was of a rattlesnake, a mother rattlesnake coiled around her eggs. Of course. Yeah. The magic of life. Oh, my mind feels so quiet. My body feels so much better. I feel incredibly resistance-free right now. There's just no better feeling. satsangwithmamaji@gmail.com. I always say like calm instead of calm. We love you so much.